Good evening and welcome, everyone. In a moment he had desperately tried to delay or derail, Donald Trump took the defendant's seat in a Manhattan courtroom today for the start of his first criminal trial, a historic moment for a former American president that brought him practically face to face with a stream of prospective jurors. New Yorkers who could potentially determine his fate. None so far, however, has been seated. Mr. Trump faces 34 felony counts of falsifying business records, revolving around hush money payments to cover up an alleged affair with a porn actress. The former president has pleaded not guilty to the charges and denied an affair. Before today's questioning of prospective jurors got underway, the judge made it clear that the presumptive Republican presidential nominee was expected to be in court every day of the trial. The judge also making an important ruling over the admissibility of the infamous Access Hollywood tape in the trial. Senior legal correspondent Laura Jarrett has late details.
Donald Trump sitting in a Manhattan courtroom today, watching the process of whittling down a pool of hundreds to a jury of 12 with 6 alternates, people who will soon sit in judgment of the former president, the first to ever face a criminal trial.
We're not going to be given a fair trial. It's a very, very sad thing.
200 people summoned to the courthouse today, questioned about their backgrounds, media preferences, and views on Mr. Trump. In deep blue Manhattan, many jurors swiftly dismissed for saying they cannot be impartial. The judge driving home the stakes of the unprecedented moment for the presumptive GOP nominee, warning Mr. Trump today, if he fails to show up, he risks arrest. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to the 34 counts of falsifying business records, a low-level felony, but the story prosecutors seek to tell more sordid and sweeping. Previewing their central theme today of a presidential campaign rocked by the release of the infamous Access Hollywood tape, fueling Mr. Trump's determination, in prosecutors telling, to buy the silence of Stormy Daniels, allegedly directing Michael Cohen to pay her $130,000 so that she wouldn't go public saying she had sex with Mr. Trump, something he maintains never happened. The former president later reimbursing Cohen through a series of checks, allegedly doctoring his company's internal records to cover it all up.
That payment was to hide damaging information from the voting public. The participant scheme was illegal.
The judge ruling prosecutors cannot play the Access Hollywood tape at trial, but can introduce what he said. Mr. Trump's team expected to highlight how the previous DA and federal prosecutors declined to press charges in this case, while Mr. Trump lambasted the case as a Democratic conspiracy to hurt his re-election chances.
This is a persecution like never before. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And again, it's a case that should have never been brought. It's an assault on America.
The trial expected to stretch on 6 to 8 weeks and feature testimony from Cohen, Daniels, members of Trump's inner circle like former aide Hope Hicks, and possibly Mr. Trump himself.
I would testify, absolutely.
The risk of cross-examination, substantial, but the more immediate threat, possible violations of the gag order, prohibiting Mr. Trump from attacking trial witnesses.
And Laura, we've spoken a lot about the calendar here. This is just the first criminal case Mr. Trump faces this year.
Yes, Lester, he faces 3 other criminal cases across 3 different jurisdictions, but none of those, given all the delays and appeals, is ready to go to trial, which means this one in Manhattan may be the only one that proceeds to a jury before November. But in the meantime, jury selection will continue for the next couple days, if not weeks here, Lester.
Laura Jarrett, thank you. I want to bring in Hallie Jackson now. Hallie, in addition to the legal risk, there is the political risk for Mr. Trump as this trial plays out.
Yeah, that's right, Lester. Listen, he hopes to use this case to his political advantage, and that worked for him in the primary. We saw his legal issues rally Republicans around him. They helped him raise money. He's even fundraising off of this case again tonight. But keep in mind, we are in the general election now, and this is where he's got to appeal to independents. About half of them say they believe these charges are serious. And other recent polling suggests if Mr. Trump is convicted, it's President Biden who could get a boost. We are seeing tonight Mr. Trump clearly frustrated that he has to be at court for these proceedings, but all of it highlights just how extraordinary this moment is. A blockbuster collision of the court and the campaign trail that makes Donald Trump, the candidate, indistinguishable from Donald Trump, the criminal defendant. Lester?
All right, Hallie Jackson, thanks. Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.